Oh, hi. Okay, let's get Barb on here. Hope everyone is all excited for another photography chat. I know I kind of am. This should be fun. We're just waiting for Barb and other people to get in here, so I'm not all by myself. But Instagram says, hold on, we're telling more people that you're doing this, so thanks for having me back, Instagram. I appreciate you. It's very exciting. Yeah. It's been a busy week. It's getting chilly in Toronto. Winter's coming. The next lockdown is coming. And there's Barb! Hi, Barb. Okay, let's get Barb on. Hi, Pete.
Hey,
What's up, Barb?
what's
There
up?
you are.
Got it? Well, I'm
Yeah,
hidden
no
by
worries.
them. I'll have to get
Oh,
taller. But yeah, hey.
how's it going in Saskatoon?
Oh, it's warming up. It
What's
was
up?
cold there. So, what's that?
I was just saying, what's up, David? Hi, Chico.
I don't know if any of my friends will come, but I told them about it.
I had a bunch of people liking stuff, so I mean that's a
Oh,
positive
sweet.
sign. Hopefully that people will come. Um, But yeah, it's been chilly here, and then yeah, summer's definitely gone. It's much sad. But your camera looks good.
Yeah. To
Oh,
me,
you went robot.
I did. Oh, sorry. I was adjusting the volume
It,
so I can hear you better. Yeah, no,
oh,
this
there
is
we
my dad's.
go. Okay.
So everything's
Oh,
good
that's
now.
that's kind of exciting.
It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. David says hiya. I'm doing okay, David. Um, you know, how's everyone on the chat doing? All right, we can wait for them to chat. But what's been going on with you over in Saskatoon with photo stuff? Like what have you been working on?
Um, Mostly I've been doing, well, not really with any, like just shooting without anything really in mind. I've been kind of inspired by my mom's basement, which is a weird thing to say, but it's because I COVIDed here, if that's a word, if I
Okay,
can make that a word. Like
sure.
we isolated like early on here. So, and
Okay.
then like they haven't, my mom hasn't moved since 1974. So a lot of
Oh,
there's some
shit.
things about this house that have been around since I was a kid. So I started photographing that.
And
So,
so
and
is
then
that
I can go on walks from here and I've been back at my studio as well. So, it's somewhat normal, I guess. I don't know if you can call things normal yet from
well, no, I
COVID
mean
and all.
nothing is normal. It's weird now. Everything's weird. It's different. It's the new world. This is what the new
Yeah,
normal.
yeah,
Sure, call it that.
sure. That works.
Um, yeah, why
I
not?
I brought how many films did I develop today? Uh, four 120 and two 35 mil.
Oh wow, you've been busy.
Yeah, I kind of tend to batch. I have a really bad habit of just throwing developed film in the fridge and then just doing big batches when I do develop or exposed film in the fridge rather. And then I have a bad habit of doing that. And then I don't know what I was testing or which camera I was using because I tend to
You gotta
batch
like
them all together.
write on take notes or something and write it on the canister maybe.
I do. I had written down, but it doesn't. I mean, I can mostly tell which camera I've used because of the way that it shoots,
Oh, that's fair.
and because of the cameras I've brought. I didn't get to my 4x5 stuff, but because I've been shooting some pinhole,
Oh, nice.
the same camera that I brought with me
To Boston.
to Boston, yeah,
The
that
faithful
little
Boston.
guy. And then I switch it up and I go with the 8x10, so which is sitting right next
Because
to me.
oh, I want to get into 8x10 so bad. It's just I've been trying to find a camera that's not gonna like destroy my wallet, and
Yeah, keep an
it's
eye on
hard.
eBay.
Well,
Um,
Armand might have a line on one for me. I told him to like hang on to it for me for a bit because it would be really beautiful and amazing if I could get that one from him.
oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, yeah, it. I'm excited possibly about that one. But what's up, JP? Um, I'm trying to like not get my hopes up too high because I'm still waiting to like figure out disability shit and all of that. But
Right.
8x10 is like that's what I wanted to play with next because I really want to explore 8x10 Polaroids before. Hopefully they never disappear, but like before they possibly disappear. Um,
That's way too expensive for me. Those 8x10 Polaroids are, well, it's
yeah,
not actually, it's not that, it's the back. It's the Polaroid back.
well that's it. Trying to well, it's just
Like
it's a whole
that'll be like $1,000, I
yeah that's
think.
a
Well, I saw one the
fucking
other day for like nine 29, because I was
yeah.
looking for it, but
JP also says that he wants to shoot 8x10, but it's a whole new investment, especially with developing. So
yes. Just got yesterday. I got some E6 chemistry. It just came yesterday, so I'm gonna try to do that with for my 8x10 because I have all this dated E6 or
okay.
like transparency film. So I bought some chemistry, so we'll see how that works.
Oh,
I got
nice.
the technical. I don't know if I'm supposed to be. I don't know. I haven't set it up yet, so we'll see.
Well, we got a few people on here, so maybe you want to do like a quick introduction of yourself to like let the crew know. We got a couple, mostly people from the States, which that's cool. Most of my homies are from Americas. And hi, Kat. Um, yeah, say a little bit about Barb.
Okay. Well, I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Um, Treaty 6, homeland of the Métis. Um, the I've been photographing, well, I've been doing photos since, I guess, well, since high school, really, and I'm really old. Well, I'm not really old. I shouldn't say
You're
that.
not really old.
Um, I've been doing it for about 25 years, developing black and white. I've always had a darkroom in every place I've lived. I spent some time in Toronto going to school, and then I dropped out of said school, so maybe we won't mention the name. Um, I do have two art degrees from the University of Saskatchewan, and that's all I'll say about that. Um, because I don't want to get into
That's fine.
get into that. Um, about 13 years ago, I started developing film in coffee. So I got a grant and I went to Nicaragua and I went back for a show. I had a show in Nicaragua and I brought a semi dark room. Well, I didn't bring a dark room with me. I just brought a developing tank with me and some fix. And then I scoured the landscape for the rest of my supplies. Didn't really do much with that other than like for developing on site there because I didn't really wasn't there that long, but I put up the show and I photographed all the stuff we were doing to the land and
Okay.
stuff and what we kind of like what we considered in the first world, like even just that whole statement is, you know,
Yeah.
so that's kind of what I was doing. I was kind of doing what we were doing to the world, and kind of because we were like, because we use the third world as our waste bucket in some ways, but in some ways there's like so much more advanced in recycling than we are, even though that at the time they were just kind of starting in the area for collecting things. for
Oh,
recycling as a North American person would think of recycling.
yeah,
In my, like, from the research I did doing that project, I mean, like, they kind of, like, they go through their garbage a whole lot more than we do. But they were also building, like, earth ships down there, and I wanted to go photograph that because it's a home made out of, like, found tires and built into the land.
yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to have, like, that whole kind of the whole spectrum of what we were doing to the land, and also the coffee farms, because it was really cool to see where the coffee was coming from.
That's
I didn't
wild.
really get into the politics of that with that project at that time, but yeah, it was just kind of cool showcasing the landscape and showcasing what they were doing um, down there. And then from there, I went and I kind of was interested in the Green Man and still doing coffee developing. I do most of my black and white with coffee developing because I like the idea of having a mobile practice. So I can
Okay.
go, like, say, when I came to Toronto and I was developing in my sink,
Yeah.
and when I went to Boston and I was, like, making a makeshift darkroom out of the hostel, and kind of they didn't know that. Maybe they still won't know that. Who knows? They remember
We'll,
me.
we'll
Um,
never tell.
but yeah, and I've just started developing color again. I mean, I had this whole break in the art world per se, and going into the commercial world for about 10 years
Yeah.
ago. So I did do a lot of color. I own, professional digital equipment as well. I don't shoot with it that as much as I used to. I do a lot
Okay.
of documentation type stuff on digital, but
Um,
I just
Kat,
find it another tool. I find that I'm more interested in film, but
yeah.
digital is just another tool to me. So I'll use it for what it's good for. So
Kat
that's
wanted to
basically
say
me.
that she appreciates you acknowledging the land you reside on and its treaty. And hi,
Hmm.
Jenna. And then Kat has a question for you. What
Okay.
countries did you do the coffee recycling Earthship research in?
Nicaragua.
Okay.
Yeah, I went down to Nicaragua because I watched The Garbage Warrior. Remember that movie by Michael Reynolds?
I don't
He
think
was
I've never
doing
seen
stuff
that
out of Taos, New Mexico, building
one.
houses and stuff. And then he had this. So it's like him that kind of got me thinking about the garbage necessarily. And then a friend of mine went down there, that was down in Nicaragua, and he had told me about this house they were building and about all the great stuff and also I was interested in, like, because of the whole landscape thing. I also went to the city dump, La Chureca. I'm
Okay.
not sure of my pronunciation anymore. My Spanish has gone really downhill. But they had the last open air garbage dump in Central America, and they were covering it over into a landfill that we kind of, like, that North America thinks about
Yeah.
landfills. And we have, like, in Saskatchewan, we have, like, we're on the prairies, right? So way back, way back, um, in Saskatchewan's history, we took our garbage and we built a mountain that was ski hill. We call it the pimple on the prairies. Um, but that's where I learned how to downhill ski. But uh,
And that was made out of garbage?
yeah, it's actually built. It was built up. It's about half an hour outside of Saskatoon, and it's not really used as a ski hill anymore because it became, well, there was, I guess, global warming and all that, but there was a couple years there where we weren't producing snow, and then it was getting to be too expensive for the people.
Uh,
Hey, I know
uh,
that name.
yeah.
and
Hi, Jenna. What's up, Allie?
and
Hello,
yeah,
Jen.
so that's just it. That's just kind of what so that's kind of what kind of started me on that project and the Green Man, and then I kind of was photographing people, and I had a show of various kind of people that inspired me. And then I went to Iceland, and I was kind of getting more into this mobile darkroom kind of idea, even though I've set it. I mean, it's not that hard to set up a darkroom, but because that was, I was kind of kind of working with an idea of setting up a space wherever I go, so that I could go to these other workshops or other residencies and not have to have a darkroom with me.
Okay.
So it's kind of like more like how portable can I be? And then I started getting into large format photography again because I got this 8x10 camera. I acquired this 8x10 camera, and that's not light to carry with you.
No, no, those
Because
are
it's a
well.
studio, because it's a monorail. It's
Oh,
like a
geez.
sign. It's a
Okay.
monorail.
It's a big.
Um, yeah, I could set it up for you if you want. If you want to see it.
That's all. That's no, it's
But
not like the one that Brian had on the photo walk. That one was hilarious.
no, like he had a. Didn't he have Didn't he have like a field camera, like a
Yeah,
kind
he
of
had a field
folded into a
camera.
box?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it folded up and
yeah.
yeah, that
The
was
Intrepid. You should look into the Intrepid. I've heard good things about the Intrepid cameras,
so
but I'm
that
not sure
that
cost
might be
wise.
the one that might be the one that I go for.
If you
Um,
want a new camera, if you don't find like
yeah,
an old camera.
yeah,
But
I
an 8
think
by 10, I'd definitely go for I'd definitely do a field camera for what you want, for what your style of photography. Because then you could
uh,
bring it on the street easy.
Cat
You
Cat
want to see
said
the 8 by 10?
you want to see the 8x10, and then Aaron's asking, is there a difference of love between photography and film and video? I don't know.
I don't
He's
know.
because I love both in different ways.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm
I
not.
mean, I've been doing a little bit of Super 8 and 8mm. I have a couple 8mm um, film cameras, and I've been buying like just double standard 16 mil film and throwing it through there. Um, but I haven't really done anything with it in terms of showing. I'm kind of fooling around with like reversal baths and peroxide and I can't remember his name now, but the guy who's doing reversal baths for Caffeinol, which
Okay.
is a name that I almost never use when I talk about my coffee developing. And but yeah, no, I've kind of my film fridge is full of color, a whole bunch of color films, so I have to use it up. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. 3D print an 8 by 10 camera, that'd
That's
be
wild.
cool.
That'd be
That'd be
cool.
wild.
I'd really want to see that. Joe Can Cleave. I'm not sure. Is that
I'm
who
not
you're
sure.
talking about? Joe Van Cleave? I don't know who that is.
I will have to look that up. Let me just see if I can bring up 8 by 10
You're gonna
without
pull
moving.
one of
You
your
hear
homies
that?
says, Barb, you are such an amazing and talented friend.
Who's
Aw.
that? Who said that? I can only see the bottom of it now.
Neg 4R?
Oh, Fatima.
Uh, there's
Yay!
available 8x10 but ooh, that sounds cool. Oh,
Oops.
oh
Uh-oh.
shit, don't break it.
Something was not tightened in the bag.
Oh no.
Oh
What's
no,
up,
it was.
Sarah?
See, this is my baby.
Damn, that's a big puppy. What lens do you have on that?
That is a 360 6.8 Samar
No.
S. Look at it. It doesn't even fill. Look at it. It can fill the screen, and that's even when it's all squished up.
Yeah, 'cause you need to extend it out a bit when you're gonna fire that thing, right?
Oh yeah, I have a whole nother rail that doesn't fit on it when that when I can
Holy
put it on
shit.
the
How big are the bellows on that thing?
okay, let me see if I can
No, don't don't put. I was just curious. Like,
the bellows. Okay. Leverage. Just
you gotta get it on a tripod.
get it. tripod, which I don't have right
That's okay.
now.
JP says, "Wow, that thing is amazing." It is pretty amazing. 8
Gonna
by
come
10 is
off the
really cool.
railroad. Yeah, pretty cool and heavy.
Oh,
You're freezing.
you're freezing too. Here, just a sec. Let me try switching to
Oh, you're.
me now.
I
Just
see.
am I still choppy?
I'm not sure why.
Did I lose you there, Barb?
I'm here. I'm here. You. I'm.
Huh. Okay.
That's too bad.
I think it's
So what's going on in Toronto?
what's going on in Toronto. Um, I've got the instant film workshop coming up. Hopefully,
Oh, I think.
oh, can
Go. A Jeep.
hello? We're having technical difficulties, I think. Damn internet.
That's another reason. That's why you like film better.
Yeah, that is why I like film better, because like digital problems like this. But I think it's working now.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think so. All right, cool. Um, not no
Trying to
people in the
interrupt you.
crowd. Can you hear both of us? Are we both messed up, or
I don't know.
is anyone still?
Scroll of people anymore. Just stuck on something in that.
We're losing people. Wah wah. Okay, let me try going just a sec.
Oh,
What's that? Are you still there? Hello, internet. Is it better now, Sarah?
she's just a blur. Well, that seems seems pretty normal.
Oh no. Well, I mean, you would have been completely blurry if you used your old phone, right?
I would have been just a yeah. You wouldn't have been able to see anything.
Okay, I think we're back
Yeah.
because you were
Okay.
no longer blurry, and huzzah!
That's
So you asked me about Toronto?
yeah. I did ask you about Toronto. What's
I
going on?
did.
You said you were talking about a workshop you're doing,
Yeah,
right?
so I was supposed to do an instant film workshop with Gallery 44 in March, and then the
Nice.
world ended. And it was that was a whole. I mean, we're still living in it. We're in the new world, right?
Yeah.
But they approached me and they're like, "Hey, now that like we're out of lockdown 1.0 and on the verge of lockdown 2.0, do you want to do that workshop?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it as soon as possible before like, we end up stuck in our boxes again." So, October 3rd, I've got, hi Jess. I've got hopefully 8 people coming to have some pandemic friendly fun. Um, like the original idea, which I can't do now, which I'm sort of bummed out about, was that like I was gonna have a bunch of different instant film cameras so everyone can try each different kind and then like get a
Oh,
feel like Instax, like try a mini, a square, a wide, have a bunch of different types of Polaroids, so everyone can try like every format kind of thing. That was the original idea. That is not COVID friendly. So, um,
Come get your COVIDs and your
yeah,
Polaroid.
um, they were like, well, maybe if we like disinfect each camera, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's gonna be like such a pain in the ass. Like every time everyone takes a shot, disinfect the camera, switch. So
Yeah.
new plan is I will have a bunch of the different cameras there for people to check out before we go on the photo walk. So they can like see them and like, I can take some shots of them with them or whatever if they want to have like shots on different formats. But then for the photo walk, everyone's going to get their own camera. So Polaroid is loaning me two one step pluses, and I've got a one step plus of my own. And then the other five people will get a Sun 660 autofocus box camera. So
Nice.
everyone will have their own camera. Yeah, and people are going to have to fight over the one steps if they want that. I'm sure there's going to be some people that will just want something where they don't have to think about it and push a button, and the Sun 660 is perfect for that.
Yeah, and
Because
I'm sure that there's going to be some people who bring their own Polaroids too, probably.
yeah, I
Don't
mean,
you
as
think?
long as if they bring something that works with 600 film, that's fine because that's the film that I'm going to have on hand. Because like the idea is, every participant, I want them to have two packs of film, a color and a black and white. And then they can go. We're gonna do a walk through Kensington and Chinatown, and they can go take some pictures. And I was also thinking it might be fun to get everyone an Ilford disposable.
Oh yeah.
So, and Downtown Camera is gonna work a deal for me so that they'll get free developing basically.
Nice.
So yeah, so everyone will get to play with a Polaroid. They get to keep all the shots that they take from the event, and then they'll have a disposable camera that they can, do whatever they want, like take shots with it there, take shots later. Hi, John. And then them developed a downtown camera. So that's the idea for this workshop. I was trying to get Lomography to donate some disposables, but Lomography's like, oh, Polaroid's already sponsoring this one. We'll get you on the next one.
they
They're like,
don't they don't work well with others.
yeah, they're like, yeah, we kind of don't want to like dip into other people's Kool-Aid, and I'm like, well,
Mhm.
I mean, why not? Um, but I think it'll
Well,
be fun. It'll be
they,
cool in
but they said
Toronto,
that they'll do
and
it for the next one. They have a sponsor already for another workshop, so it all works out.
well, they were like they were like, let's talk about something more dedicated that could be like focused on lomography. So
Mhm.
that could be kind of cool. Like maybe I'll talk to their marketing people about like trying to do something to promote lomography here because I think I can do something similar with Polaroid in Canada because they don't really have much of a presence up here. So that'd be kind of cool to do some shit with them, and it's been cool lining up with the marketing people at Polaroid, and how awesome and supportive they've been about stuff. Um, yeah, so it's been neat. Like
Oh,
Toronto's
that's really
been
cool.
interesting. You know, I mean, more interesting
I've
because of
heard
the
that.
pandemic. Sorry, you
Yeah.
heard what?
Well, I just saw on the news that what's his name was gonna have a hard nosed approach to COVID and mask wearing
Who?
again. Your provincial guy, Ford.
Oh,
I can't remember which Ford it is though.
Doug. Yeah, that
Doug,
guy.
right?
He looks like he looks like was the bad guy from Back to Biff. He looks like Biff Tannen fucked a troll doll. Like that's
That's
he.
priceless.
But no, like that's what that guy looks like. He looks like a troll doll, and him like they fucked, and then that's Doug Ford. Like I mean, he's such a piece of garbage. I don't like that guy. Um,
Yeah. Let's
I
just
liked
not
his
talk
brother a
about
lot more
politics.
because he was more ridiculous. I mean, we Jess really liked your reaction. I mean, it's true. I'm really good at like doing the combinations of people. Um, Only uglier. And yes, David, the 60 is a cracking camera. I did see your comment earlier. What's up, Carly? Downtown camera representing up in here.
All right, nice.
Uh,
How's
yeah,
your development going?
my developing?
Yeah. Are you getting lots of
Oh,
use out of the tank? Or are
yes, I
you
do think every now and then, but I just since the accident, I haven't really been doing like a lot of my own shit because I just can't as much.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's been fun. Like even something is like a headlight burnt out on my car, and
Yeah.
it's like a fancy headlight and shit, and it's expensive. It's like a $300 fucking light bulb, which so
Wow.
I was like I thought about trying to fuck around with it, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin a $300 light bulb and then have to buy another one. So I'm gonna have to like just pay someone else to do it because I can't even put a light bulb in my car right now. So brain injuries are fun.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. But yeah, does anyone in the crowd have like developing questions or like, alternative process questions or like large format questions for Barb because she knows stuff. So,
Little.
give yourself a bit more credit, dude.
Well, I just turfed 2 rolls of film, so but 2 out of 6 isn't bad.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's been a while too, right?
Well, yeah, I guess it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. Was it 35 mil or 120?
The 35 turned out. It was 2 120 rolls that didn't.
Yeah, see, 120 is such an asshole to get
Yeah,
from like I hate because you can't just like do the thing with it. It's just I
yeah.
tried I did 120 myself a couple of times and then decided fuck that. I'm just gonna bring it to the lab.
Oh, I like doing 120 in the on the Patterson tanks. They're pretty. I find them, well, they're good. Once you get it, you're good. But yeah, sometimes you hit like you get a really curly roll,
Yeah.
and then it takes forever. And then I feel like it's my first time doing it, and I'm spending like too long in the dark.
That
Shut
that
up!
sounded funny.
I know that sounded dirty. If you have a dirty
Oh, like
mind.
I don't know what you're talking about at all. I'm very no. I do want to get a bigger Patterson tank so that I could get one of those Mod 54s though. Um, so I could.
Oh yeah, I have one of those
They're
just
cool.
over
I use them as.
my left shoulder.
Oh, nice. Sarah says you need to be zen with your reels. 120
Hmm.
goes, no problem.
Yeah,
See, I'm not good at that, really. Now,
you'll get it. Do
well,
it
okay,
lot.
so when I'm doing it at home, I kind of really hate doing it at home because when I'm using the dark bag, um, it fucks with my brain a lot because like my hands are inside the bag and my hands are getting like sweaty and weird and it's like really warm in the bag, but the rest of my body is like a normal temperature. So it starts like giving me like a little bit of like an anxiety attack because I'm like, I just want to pull my hands out of this hot, sweaty bag, but then if I do it, it ruins all the film. I'm like, I hate this so much. Um, so I
I understand.
that's why, and especially now since the brain stuff, it's like even worse. Which Gallery 44 wasn't bad though, because there's like a dark room that you could like it's a film changing room that's dark and creepy, and
Yeah.
it's weird when you're there by yourself at like 1 in the morning and you're like, you're not alone because there's ghosts in the building. But that's weird.
Well,
But
I've
it's
got a
weird.
tent. You just
Oh,
gotta put tent pegs in it.
Yeah, I guess, but I just don't like it. Just even thinking about it right now, it fucking
Yeah.
makes me feel gross to
No,
be.
I agree with them. Dark bags are gross.
Yeah, we got
Humidity
dark
bags,
bags,
right?
gross, humidity bags. Jason has a
But
question. What's the oldest expired pack film you have shot that rendered images? Huh.
pack film,
Yeah.
like Polaroid.
Yeah, I guess so.
Um, I have some 4x5 stuff from like 1996, 98, 98. That still was good. Although I just shot some Impossible Project film. I shot all 8 exposures and I got nothing.
Well,
So
Impossible was their formulas were a bit more experimental.
yeah, I
Um,
know.
I've shot some 4x5 that was I think 94, 96 that still worked. And then I
Yeah,
had some Polacolor 100, I think, that also really worked okay.
yeah. I've got
Um, sorry, go
some
ahead.
film 35 millimeter that somebody donated to me from 1956 in a
Shit.
can, but it's been in my fridge, so I don't know. I haven't. I wanted to find something that was worthwhile shooting for that. That was
That's
something
dope.
that I could repeat. You
M.
know,
Scott has a question. They've always wanted to try home film development. Do people still use red lights in dark rooms to see, or does it have to be totally dark? Um, you're a lab
it
tech.
has
You
to
can
be
run.
totally dark for loading your film. Your film will be sensitive unless you go really all out and get there is a green filter you can get, but
Or
you just
orthochromatic
need to load
film.
your film into like a daylight tank and then you can develop it anywhere.
Yeah, so to
But
do
yeah, they
that,
do use
M.
red light
Scott,
still in the darkroom for paper because paper's not sensitive to that part of the light spectrum, but or amber lights in the darkroom.
yeah,
But yeah, with film it's sensitive to all, so you kind of can't.
that's why you got to use the humidity bag to load it into the daylight tank.
Yep,
Or create yourself a pitch black dark room so that you
that's
can
true.
hang out with the ghosts in
Lock
your
your
house.
windows.
Yeah,
It's not that hard.
that's what
You
she
can
said.
do it.
Sorry.
I'm out of here.
um, what's up, Paul? JP, I am thinking about the 4x5 Instax back, but I'm not totally sure. I think like the next big thing that I want to get is an 8x10. So that's my like that's the next focus.
Mhm.
Like I'm like sitting like 50 cameras right now. It's a little fucking ridiculous. Um, keep a little
Yeah,
dark
me
room in
too.
my soul. Well, I mean, that's what my heart is, right? It's a little dark room in my soul.
I'm a little bit of a collector myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I
It's
can't turn down a good deal. That's how I wound up with my first 4x5, was that I was like looking up something else completely. Well, not completely different, but and then I saw this Cambo online and I'm going like, that is a really good price. I can't leave that here. So I bought it.
what did you get your Cambo for?
It was about 500. It wasn't, I mean, like it wasn't cheap, but it was a pretty good
That's
deal because it came with the lens and a few backs and a few or film holders and stuff. It was probably the most I've ever spent on any camera other than my digital, but because I tend not to buy new cameras,
that's fair.
and like I have an RB, like a Mamiya RB that we got because they were selling the like a camera store or like a
Keep telling your story about the RV.
studio was selling off equipment, and so I got that for like $150. And yeah, I guess I did spend some money on my Hasselblad, but
On your
now
oh that
you
yeah
won't
keep
come
that
back with start talking about the Hasselblad.
yeah you scared me off with the happy talk.
But I had to have it. I wanted a camera that belonged to one of my sponsor when he was selling up some gear. So it's a camera that's personal to me. It's not necessarily because of the Blad that I bought it. It was because of the owner.
Yeah,
Um,
you said it was like a professor of yours, or
no, my mentor in the Professional Photographers Association. Um,
what's up, Brian? Okay, so
I'm
it's a very, very special camera.
yeah, yeah, because yeah, and it's a super wide too, so it's not the regular.
Were you getting awkward because I'm taking your photo?
Awkward? No, I'm covered up by text right now in my world.
Well, I
Should I
have
show
to.
off my? Hmm?
No, it's cool. I got the shot there.
Okay.
Welcome, Brian. Glad to have you in here. This
Should I
is
show off my collection that I brought with me?
sure.
Okay, we're gonna go for a walk.
Okay, hopefully the connection stays good.
So, how do I switch? Oh, there.
This feels Blair Witchy right now.
This is my shelf. I back. So there's my Bronicas. What? They both work now
Oh,
because I.
nice. Hi, Brian.
Um,
That's right.
there's my Leica wannabe. It's as close to a Leica as I'm gonna get. There's the. This is the
What is
Hasselblad
it?
super wide.
Is it a Bessa or? Oh, nice.
The which? Sorry, you
What's
were
your
saying?
Leica one?
Oh, it's a
Is it like
Canonet.
is it a Rush? Oh, the Canonets are really nice.
Yeah, I like it. Well, yeah, it's the only rangefinder I have. So. Oh, that's digital. We don't care about digital. The digital? Are you laughing at my
David's
digital stuff?
comment. If this ends with someone standing in the corner,
Oh,
I'm no, no, no. David made a comment. If this ends with someone standing in the corner, I'm out.
if what? Sorry, if what? The
If
comments.
it ends with someone standing in the corner, he's out because
There's my.
what's
Yeah, I
that?
guess that's it. I don't really have that much stuff here. How about I
That's
look at you again?
still a nice collection.
Well, most of my stuff's just still at the studio. So this is just
Okay.
what I brought with me
Is
to
that like the
play with during COVID. And that was
that's
mostly,
fair. Good old COVID
yeah,
times.
yeah, good old COVID. And
Yeah,
back in, yeah,
from where all good things come. Thanks, COVID.
yeah, thanks COVID.
Yeah, it'll be like the new thanks Obama. What's up, Martina? Um,
How can you get the comments? I'm like way behind on the comments.
oh, maybe scroll because you might have got behind me.
Ah,
Yeah, David says
okay,
that's a
gotcha.
cool bunch of cameras. It is a cool bunch of cameras.
Oops, what am I doing?
And Brian said he wants your Hassie.
I'm not giving it up. I'll have to die first.
I think I need to do a
Give them?
camera purge because like there's a bunch of cameras I have that I don't really actually use, and I should probably just let them go so that other people could use them. Jess asks, if someone wanted to get into photography, what camera would you suggest for easy learning? Well, see that's a tough question because it's
Pentax
like, do you want to do film or what's that? Sorry.
I said Pentax K1000 for film.
Yeah, Pentax K1000 is good. The Canon AE1
Yep.
is good for you for film.
Nikon F2s are great.
So the Nikon F75. I think is a great starter camera because it has an auto mode so that if you're a little scared of shooting film at first, you can rock the auto mode and get comfortable with it. And then you can go into the manual functions when you want to get a little braver. Like the F75 is a cool starter camera for that. But it's a little more digital than the
Hmm.
K1000 would be. For digital cameras, if you want to get into digital cameras, the Canon Rebels are really great cameras. Um, Canon has probably some of the best Wi-Fi functionality for you to dump onto your phone from the camera if you want to like post on the grams and stuff like that. As much as it pains me to say because like I'm a Nikon diehard,
Yeah, that
Canon
surprised me.
yeah, well, Canons are a great starter camera, and the prices are really quite reasonable for some of their starter cameras. If you're like wanting to do like that kind of like social media stuff and all that, like the Canon digitals are definitely worth looking at. So I'd probably like maybe lean towards that, Jess, is like, um, a Canon for digital if you want to get into it. Their point and shoots are really beautiful too. Like I have a Canon G9X that I love to death for taking just like candid pictures. It's a great little traveling camera. I've had that one for years. Um, so yeah, Canon's a great place to start. I like Nikon personally a lot more because there's a lot more lens options with Nikon
That,
because they didn't change their camera mount for like fucking decades. Like the F mount has been around from like the late 60s until now. They just added like the Z mount like what last year or like the year before, but like F mount is still like the de facto like mount for that. So that's why I like shooting Nikon personally. Is it
Nikon and Pentax never changed their lens
right?
mounts.
Yeah, because it's the K mount
Like
on.
Canon is known for that. Like even way back before digital, when I worked at the camera store, not the camera store, a camera store. Um, I worked at Motion Picture and Sound, I think it was called. And
Okay.
I still made my biggest sale because I said I wouldn't buy Canon to save my life because they always change their lens mounts. And then now I have Canon digital, so you know
Well, and Brian also mentioned the
the
Nikon
camera god.
F100. That's fun, the camera gods. Brian also mentioned the Nikon F100, which is a badass
It's
film camera. I have one. I've had several. The F80 is also a really good starter camera too. Um, and like, my my Nikon F5. I love this is like my ride and die. I love this guy. This is a beautiful camera. Brian shoots an F5 as well too. Yeah, those are great cameras. But Martina's right. Canons are amazing starter cameras. Um, you know, their Wi-Fi functionality is way better than Nikon's, honestly. Like, I bought the dongle for my D610 and it's fucking worthless. Like, it never works right. So I just gave up on ever trying to use like Wi-Fi downloading with that camera. Um,
I've
F5
never
for
tried it with my Canon. I just download and old school it
yeah,
with my
I mean,
yeah.
it's what the kids do these days, though, right?
I guess. I guess I got to get up on my Instagram.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is your
But
first step. You're all up on the grams. So, well, so some of them do. Yeah, Martina's right. Like you
well, it
can
depends.
use.
It depends on which lenses you have, though.
Yeah,
And Canon does make like adapter rings for most of
yeah.
their
There's adapter
lenses.
ring, and then also like when you're looking at digital, there's a difference between like full frame and crop frame sensors as well too. So it's like all old film camera lenses are full frame lenses, and if you use a full frame lens on a crop sensor digital, which most digitals are because the crop sensors are the cheaper ones, you end up with multiplication factor. So if it's a 50 mil lens, it ends up being like what like a 68 mil or like 70 mil lens equivalent kind of thing because it's like times like 1.25 or something or like 1.5.
It
So
depends on, yeah.
yeah, it depends on like the lens and like the camera body and stuff, but that's one like you can use the old lenses on digital bodies, but that is something to keep in mind if you buy a crop sensor camera. Full sensor cameras, you don't have that problem because like the sensor's designed to be like a 35 millimeter equivalent. So when you put that lens on it, it'll behave on that digital the same way it would behave on a film. Um, which is why I bought the D610 because I was tired of carrying two camera bodies and two sets of lenses because I had like a D300 with all the crop lenses and that was really fucking annoying. So the D610 makes it easy because I can just pack one set of lenses and then the bodies, but then it usually just sits in the bag. Even though I bring it places, I never use it because it's like, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
I find that now if I bring, yeah, I kind of do that too. Because even last summer or last spring, when I was in Toronto, I had my digital camera and I think I brought it out like and took maybe 6 photos on my card. Oh, you're gone again.
I'm gone?
Oh, no, no. It was just a momentary, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the
Anyhow,
same thing with the Boston trip, yeah.
I find that if I want to shoot with my digital camera, I have to just bring my digital camera.
That's fair,
If
yeah.
I have a film camera, I'll like just default to the film.
It's easier because like what I hate with digital is all the editing you have to do after. I hate it. I hate it so
That's because
much.
you don't develop your own film.
No, but yeah, that's true because like it's so easy. I just take my film to downtown camera and like throw money at it and they text me scans the next day and I'm like, "Yay."
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
awesome.
it's a nice it's
Because
a great
I have a stack of negatives sitting on my scanner,
yeah,
waiting to scan.
I hate scanning. Like all okay, so I do develop sometimes, but only when I can print in the darkroom because all the shit that I've developed myself, I've never scanned any of it. So like I have this like binder of all of these photos I've taken that don't exist anywhere else but that binder because I'm too lazy to scan them.
I'm just behind. I have a big stack of scanning to do. Although I tend to
That's
scan things for, it depends on what I'm doing. I do a lot of quick scans. Like I'll put the print file like down on the scanner and make a contact sheet so I can
okay.
quickly see them. Um,
What's up,
and
Caroline?
then, yeah, then I kind of like, I'm more picky and choosy about like what I scan high res. Um, and then it kind of depends. Like I tend to make prints. I make small prints and then I scan those prints for like a show, depending on how big I want to go.
Well, that
It kind
answers
of depends.
Jason's
It
question
really
because
depends on
Jason,
what I'm doing. Again, it's just another tool to me as to
yeah,
how I get my images out.
and Brian asks if you do proof sheets.
Of digital stuff, no. Of I will still work with contact sheets. Yes. But not that I don't like make custom contact sheets or anything. Mostly it's just so I have the reference in the positive. I'm pretty good at going from the negative to 16 by 20 if I want to. I've always been that way. I look at the negative and go like, yep, this one will be big, and I make it
Watch out,
big.
we got a badass over here.
The what?
I said, watch out, we got a badass over here.
Who's that?
Uh-oh.
Me?
Did our connection again? Yeah, you're the badass. Martina says they miss working in a dark room. I miss working in a dark room too.
Me too.
Apparently the Galaxy 44 one reopened, but like, I don't know. I'll go at some point, maybe. I I,
Go
I
for
had this whole
it.
Kim's Convenience thing that I was gonna make for a friend that then the world ended. And I still have like a locker that's full of like paper and chemicals. I don't even know if they're good though. I can't even remember the combination to the locker anymore. It's been so long.
At Gallery 44?
Yeah.
Cool. Um,
Yeah. We have to pay dues again soon, which I'm like a tiny little bit salty about because I'm like, what the fuck you mean dues? I haven't got to use the place in like 6 months.
they aren't extending it?
I guess not. I don't know. Brian says, how do you do the sheets to tag your twin checks?
Um, well,
Or sorry,
I
how do
guess
you
I
find
just do
sheets
contact
to
sheets.
tag your twin checks? I
Are
think
you
Brian,
talking? Oh, you're talking about digital, like when you scan them? Do you do proof sheets?
I'm not sure. Brian,
Uh,
can you clarify that? Also, Brian's an interesting cat because he's like one of the owners of Underdog Film Lab down in
oh,
Oakland,
sweet.
California. Represent, and they run a bunch of dip dunk machines, and he's an all around cool cat. If you don't follow Brian Brooks, you should follow Brian_Brooks on the Instagrams.
Can I do that from here, or do I have to do that later? I'll do that
I
later.
think you'll have to do that after, but you
Yeah.
definitely should follow him. He always has some spicy photos in the mix, but he's also a fantastic human. So glad to know the dude. He said you
Cool.
mentioned scanning print files.
Oh, I meant like the negative preserves, like the print file brand negative sheets. So I'll just
Oh,
like put my negatives in there, then scan the negatives through the plastic. So it's not that great quality, but it still will give me that reference in the positive,
JP
and kind of
says.
see how digital, like how the computer interprets them as well.
So do you just throw that in like a regular scanner, or do you have like a scanner that has a backlight for doing negatives?
I have a 4990. It's like really old, and I can't update my computer software, my OS, without losing operational capabilities. But yeah, it's an old 4990 Epson
Okay,
scanner, so it's for negatives. It's got an array missing, so I have this line through everything too. So I have to kind of, when I'm scanning for real, I have to have it marked where I can scan. So it makes it kind of frustrating for 8 by 10 for when I scan my 8 by 10s, but
it might be time
I
for a
need a
new
new
scanner.
scanner. Maybe that'll be my next thing, but 8 by 10 you can just make a contact sheet. You can do that with a light bulb, so I can
That's
get to positive in my studio, and then then enough. I'll get enough of a reference, so if I need something really scanned, I can take it elsewhere or go to
nice.
the artist run centers in town, use their stuff if I have to.
That's very cool.
School, yeah.
Well, we're
So,
coming up on the top of the hour here. Instagram's got the countdown for me. Um, Brian has one quick question, then we'll wrap it up. Yes, how do you tie them back to the negatives to find negs to rescan? Just curious on how others do it.
oh, I've got a coding system because I take the negative number on the negative, and then I have like a job code that I write on the, kind of like a twin check number, but a code for what that I've
What's up,
written on
you?
right on the print file, so that I can always go back to that.
I think you answered Brian's question. And we're coming up, we got 50 seconds left. Barb, thank you so much for joining me on this adventure that I've started now. I appreciate you being number 7 here. Thank you everyone for tuning in and spending this time with us. Apologize for the technical difficulties there. Next week, Eric Bouvet is going to be joining me from Film Photographic, and that should be really cool. So, thanks guys for like hanging out with me on these photography chats, and like I really appreciate everyone spending this time. Love you guys, and
Thanks
thank
for
you
the
so much.
invite.
Yeah, it was great to see you
It
virtually.
was great. Yeah, it's great to talk to you in person, or ish.
Yeah, and we're about to lose, so